Steve Carell is known for his hilarious roles in both film and television, often using his dry wit and sarcasm to tickle his audience. He is the actor that made The Office a bona fide sitcom classic. For 8 glorious seasons, he made us laugh and cringe as the lovable manager of Dunder Mifflin Paper. He made his mark on the world by playing Michael Scott. However, he has a storied career that goes far beyond the walls of the Scranton Business Park. Here are 10 things you probably didn't know about Steve Carell. He played the fife. Stephen John Carell was born on August 16, 1962, in Concord, Massachusetts, to Edwin Carell and Harriet Teresa. He was raised together with his 3 older brothers in Anton, Massachusetts. Their family loved music, and they would even perform together with Carell tasked to play the fife. He used his skills to reenact the 10th North Lincoln Regiment of Foot, a line infantry regiment in the British Army. He thought he wanted to be a lawyer. Carell attended Ohio's Denison University, where he graduated with a history degree in 1984 and had planned to move on to law school. But when it came time to apply, he couldn't answer the question, "Why do you want to become a lawyer?" He told NJ.com, "I had never considered acting as a career choice, although I'd always enjoyed it. I enjoyed hockey and singing in the choir, and I didn't think of them as potential careers either. But I began to realize I really loved acting and telling stories. Reading a book, watching a movie, going to a play, it's transporting and very, very exciting. And to be a part of that, creating things with your imagination, whoa." He worked as a mailman. Before he moved to Chicago at the beginning of his career, Carell worked as a mailman in the small town of Littleton, Massachusetts. Because the post office didn't have its own mail vehicles, Carell had to use his own car. He has called his days making deliveries the hardest job he's ever had. Speaking to 60 Minutes in 2014, he said, "I was terrible at it, so bad. The first day I delivered mail, they had to go out looking for me because it was like 9 at night, and I wasn't back. I got a flat tire, so the postmaster of Littleton was out with a flashlight looking for me at night." He had a similar tale to tell on the Ellen DeGeneres show, admitting that he only lasted 7 months on the job. His head was lit on fire for Bruce Almighty and the scene was cut. For his first big movie role, Carell got to be in the Jim Carrey vehicle Bruce Almighty, about a man who's given the powers of God. The film was a huge hit and had a memorable turn for Carell. But the part that's lived on, where Carrey's character makes Carell speak in tongues, went much further and originally had the burgeoning star's head burst into flames. It was probably CGI though, so no big deal, right? It turns out that this dangerous stunt was actually done for real. As Carell told Graham Norton, it wasn't even a special effect. It was a real, live practical effect. They ran a gas line down my back, and they put a coil on top of my head. And they put gel on my head so it wouldn't burn, and they ignited this enormous, 4-foot flame. He's not the first actor to be put in danger, but it must have stung that people didn't even get to see it. Foxcatcher was his first major dramatic role. Up until 2014, Carell was known mainly for comedic roles in films like Anchorman and its sequel, The 40-Year-Old Virgin, Evan Almighty, Get Smart, and Despicable Me. But his dramatic turn in Foxcatcher, playing the wrestling coach and convicted murderer John Luther DuPont, got him recognized as a serious actor with talent beyond just being able to generate cheap laughs. He earned an Academy Award nomination for Best Actor for the role. He then went on to appear in other dramatic roles, including in The Big Short, Vice, and Beautiful Boy. He was not the first choice to play Michael Scott in The Office. It seems impossible to imagine any other actor playing Michael Scott. Steve Carell was the perfect choice for the role and seemingly irreplaceable on the cast, but he wasn't the first choice for the part. Paul Giamatti was reportedly the first choice, but he declined. Hank Azaria and Martin Short were also in the running. Bob Odenkirk was actually cast in the role because Carell was committed to another series, Come to Papa. But when that show was canceled after just a few episodes, the role of Michael Scott was recast with Carell. Odenkirk appeared in one of the series' later episodes, playing a boss who was eerily similar to Carell Scott. He was his wife's teacher. No, it's not as risque as it sounds. Carell met his wife, Nancy Walls, through an improv class at Second City. He was the teacher, she was one of his students. Carell revealed to details of his earliest attempts at flirting. "I beat around the bush before asking her out and said something stupid like, 'Well, you know, if I were to ever ask someone out, it would be someone like you.' It's so stupid, but it was all self-protection. She was the same way. If somebody like you were to ask me out, I would definitely go out with him. If there was a person like you." The couple married in 1995 and have appeared in several projects together. He was rejected by SNL. In 1995, right after he married his wife, the two of them decided that they were going to go to New York City and audition for Saturday Night Live. Unfortunately for Carell, his wife was cast on the show and he wasn't. It wasn't just anyone that beat out Carell for a spot on the show, it was none other than Will Ferrell. But it all turned out well in the end. Carell went on to become a household name and has hosted the show on 2 occasions. He is a member of the frat pack. While there's the brat pack that exists from the 80s, including several actors who appeared in many movies together during that decade, Carell is part of a new club called the frat pack that includes actors who have frequently appeared in comedy films together. Other members of the frat pack include Owen Wilson, Will Ferrell, Vince Vaughn, and Luke Wilson. David Copperfield taught him the art of magic. Leave it to a list actors to employ professionals in their respective fields to play a role just right. In 2013, Carell played a magician in The Incredible Burt Wonderstone, but he didn't know magic. Carell reached out to illusionist David Copperfield, who taught him and co-star Steve Buscemi a trick that neither can ever speak of. He told The Hollywood Reporter, "I actually had to sign something that I would not divulge, so that was kind of cool."